By the time of Revenge of the Sith, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi had become a master of the third form of lightsaber combat, also known as Surisu. Obi-Wan wasn't just the greatest Form 3 practitioner within the Order, but as Mace Windu concluded, the greatest Form 3 practitioner that had ever lived. It was Obi-Wan's mastery of this defensive-focused form of lightsaber combat that allowed him to emerge victorious against Grievous and Darth Vader. But Obi-Wan's path was not always one that favored Form 3 in duels. In fact, during the entire period prior to the Phantom Menace, Obi-Wan followed in his master Qui-Gon's footsteps in taking up Form 4, also known as Ataru. Interesting enough, Form 4 is almost the complete mirror opposite of Form 3, where it's defined not by defensive tenets like Form 3, but by offense. In this video expose, I will explain why it was Darth Maul and their duel on Naboo that would ultimately cause Obi-Wan to make such a drastic change to his lightsaber combat style, where Obi-Wan learned an important lesson regarding his future as a lightsaber duelist. First, it's important to look at how the Qui-Gon and Darth Maul duel played out from the perspective of Obi-Wan. As set out in the Phantom Menace novelization, and of course as seen in the film, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan initiated their duel with Maul using the hyper-aggressive tenets of Form 4. As was taught to all new Jedi within the Order through the Jedi Path guidebook, Form 4 required its practitioners to stay almost constantly on offense, and that's what the two Jedi did against Maul. With Obi-Wan following the lead of his master, Qui-Gon pressed hard at the beginning of the duel, attacking Maul with determination and ferocity. The Jedi weren't just spurred on by the offensive tenets of Form 4, but also by the knowledge of just how dangerous Maul was, and the conclusion that it would be best to finish the duel as quickly as possible. However, having deployed their offensive style in the initial stages of the duel, Obi-Wan looked on as his master pursued the Sith Lord down the catwalk of the Naboo refinery complex, noticing that Qui-Gon not just looked worn, but close to exhaustion. With the three duelists being cut off from each other and Qui-Gon kneeling in meditation, Obi-Wan recognized that there was a weariness and slump to his master's shoulders, demonstrating the exhaustion Obi-Wan saw earlier. Although the brief opportunity to meditate provided Qui-Gon with a fresh reserve of strength, which he attacked Maul viciously with, again deploying the tenets of Form 4, the previously learned truth recognized by Obi-Wan would again be seen. While Qui-Gon was able to initially burst into offense against Maul, the Jedi Master again started to tire. Just before Maul delivered his killing blow to Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan recognized that his master's lightsaber strokes had slowed, and his face clearly showed signs of fatigue. This, of course, directly led to Maul impaling his lightsaber through the midsection of Qui-Gon. It's important to note that Obi-Wan did not conclude that Qui-Gon's fatigue was a result of his age. Although his master was almost 60, Obi-Wan still saw him as one of the most able swordsmen in the Jedi Order, with experience and intuition that would make him a fearsome opponent against anyone in the galaxy. Not only that, Obi-Wan couldn't simply conclude that it was Qui-Gon's age that directly resulted in his fatigue and then defeat, because Obi-Wan was then also pushed to exhaustion in his one-on-one duel with Maul. Although Obi-Wan exploded out from behind the laser wall, deploying the tenets of Form 4 and also pressing dangerously close to the dark side, he too would eventually be worn down by Maul. As the duel continued, Obi-Wan could feel his body weakening and slowing, much like Qui-Gon's did. And because Form 4 could offer no defensive elements once the practitioner's initial offensive flurry proved to be ineffective, Obi-Wan, like his master, was defeated by Maul. Of course, Obi-Wan would only prevent his meeting the same fate as Qui-Gon by centering himself and finding the Force, and taking advantage of Maul's weakness in wanting to taunt and toy with his beaten foes. As a direct result of his duel with Maul, Obi-Wan learned that in an era wherein the Sith were likely to have returned, Form 4 had too many potential disadvantages. When facing an opponent like Maul, one who was supremely skilled in lightsaber combat and driven by the dark side and his fury towards the Jedi, utilizing a form that called for constant offense and easily resulted in exhaustion was not ideal. Its lack of defensive elements would too easily leave the practitioner vulnerable to any counterattacks and offensive flurries delivered by their Sith opponent. Therefore, immediately after his duel with Darth Maul on Naboo, and after almost meeting his end like his master did, Obi-Wan took the lessons of the duel and completely changed his lightsaber combat form, from the offensive focus form 4 to the defensive focus form 3. So there we have it, the lessons Obi-Wan learned from his duel with Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive hangouts and book discussions. If not for me, for positive changes.